Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News, the headlines. Former President Edgar Lungu's barber charged with murder. ZAMMSA cautioned against trivializing administration of substandard drugs. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from ZAMMSA. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. ZAMMSA, your digital lifestyle partner.
In other media news in detail, the Lusaka Magistrate Court has extended the warrant of arrest it issued against businessman and social media blogger Simon Chitambala for failure to appear before court for no reason to 4th March 2022. This is in a matter in which Mr. Chitambala, 52 of Lusaka, is accused of assaulting National Revolution Party Secretary General Clive Chikalungangu on 28 September 2021, occasioning actual bodily harm.
Yet again, businessman and social media blogger Simon Chitambala, popularly known as Simon Lane, failed to show up before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court Monday in a matter in which he is accused of assaulting Secretary General of National Revolution Party Clive Chitambala has been slapped with 1 count of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, an offense he is alleged to have committed on the 28th of September 2021. In the last court session, Lusaka Magistrate Jennifer Walia had issued a warrant of arrest against Chitambala after the state applied that he be brought before court on warrant of arrest for failing to appear for unknown reasons. This morning, when the matter came up for return of bench warrant, the accused was again not before court, leaving the court with no option but to adjourn the matter to the 4th of March 2022 for return of bench warrant and possible commencement of trial. Meanwhile, speaking shortly after the court appearance, NRP President Dr. Cosmo Mumba, who accompanied the complainant, had this to say.
Here, 16 members of the National Revolution Party Executive Committee escorted Mr. Clive Chikalungangu, who is the Party Secretary General, to attend a case where he's a witness in a case where he's allegedly to have assaulted Mr. Chitambala Mwewa is allegedly to have assaulted Honorable Clive Chikalungangu. We wish to thank the courts that the courts are doing well. So far so good. We appreciate justice. I think justice delayed is justice denied.
Miriam Kemba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Former President Edgar Lungu's barber Shebi Chilekwa has been slapped with 1 count of murder by the Kaoma Magistrate Court contrary to the laws of Zambia. Mr. Chilekwa, who has been in police custody since his arrest 7 days ago, has been accused of allegedly murdering a United Party for National Development cadre, Lawrence Banda, in 2019. Kaoma Magistrate Besting Hamaseke told the accused that he has been jointly charged with murder while acting together with unknown persons, which occurred on 6th of October 2019 in Kaoma District. Meanwhile, one of his lawyers, Jonas Zimba, told journalists shortly after appearing before Lusaka High Court Judge Mwapebowa that he does not know his client's whereabouts. The Lusaka High Court was scheduled to hear the habeas corpus application made by Chilekwa last week.
After spending more than a week in custody, Shabi Chilekwa, a barber of former President Edgar Lungu, made his first court appearance Monday morning before the Kaoma Magistrate Court. Chilekwa has been slapped with 1 count of murder, contrary to Section 200 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia. The state accuses him of being behind the murder of a United Party for National Development sympathizer, Lawrence Banda. An incident is said to have allegedly occurred on October 6, 2019. Chilekwa this morning appeared only for explanation of the charge before Kaoma Magistrate based in Hamaseka, awaiting instructions from the Director of Public Prosecution for him to be committed to the High Court for possible trial proceedings. Banda, who was commonly known as Gaddafi, was allegedly shot dead during the run-up to the council chairperson by-elections in October 2019. Meanwhile, the Lusaka High Court adjourned to tomorrow the hearing of Chilekwa's habeas corpus application. Last week, the Lusaka High Court ordered that he be admitted to the University Teaching Hospital for medical attention following alleged torture by the police while still in custody. But almost 72 hours after the court's directive that he be taken to the hospital, his lawyers are still in the dark over his whereabouts.
We basically had the sitting, and at the sitting it was essentially agreed that since the writ of habeas corpus is coming up tomorrow for hearing, which is the main matter, all applications should come up tomorrow as well. So tomorrow 08:30 we are before court. The Attorney General has also indicated that they intend to oppose the application for habeas corpus, which simply means that they intend to avoid bringing the body before court as directed by the court. So that is the status of the matter. Okay. No, we haven't. We don't even know where he is.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Patents and Companies Registration Agency, PACRA, has disclosed that it has embarked on a process of revising the Copyright and Performances Act of 1994 in view of making it responsive to advancements in digital technology. PACRA Copyright Administrator Kenneth Musamvu says this is in quest to combat piracy and other vices. Mr. Musamvu tells Camnet News that the act is too old to respond to modern demands in protecting intellectual properties. And former Zambian Association of Musicians President Njoya Tembo also notes that there is a need for the music industry to be more organized and united to fight piracy in the wake of digital technology.
Piracy has always been a matter of concern in the Zambian music and film industries, as people just sit on their computers to reproduce the works of artists to make money out of their sweat. To avert the problem, the government introduced the hologram, a security feature on audiovisual products in a bid to certify the originality of their works. The hologram project was being implemented by the Zambia Music Copyright Protection Society ZAMCOPS since the year 2013, and 1 billion kwacha was spent to procure the holograms, but did less or nothing to keep the vice due to poor enforcement among critical stakeholders such as the Zambia Information and Communication Technology, ZICTA, and the Zambia Police, who unfortunately are not usually as proactive as they seem on such matters. James Sakala is among Zambian artists making efforts to keep the industry alive amid the piracy challenge. He tells this journalist that piracy is a cancer in the music industry, adding that in the wake of digital technology, fighting piracy is becoming complicated and the need to devise the right strategies.
This has affected creatives, especially musicians, for quite a long time, and it's been difficult for us to make money out of our work. But moving forward, I think there's two things that are supposed to be done. The first thing is, whether we like or not, for us to be able to control piracy, the government has to be involved through ZICTA to create codes for us to be able to patent our music and our work and be able to sell them on platforms that can't offer free downloads and whatnot, because the world has gone digital, whether we like or not. The second thing is that the artists have to be willing to agree to the change of time. because a lot of artists want to be famous. That's the problem. So they'll create their own stuff and pirate their own stuff. Now they are making it difficult for people who want to sell.
And former Zambia Association of Musicians President Njoya Tembo has called for renewed commitment to fight piracy.
And, the side effects when it comes to piracy, the problem is now that our value for money is not coming in. The return on investment is very, very poor. And it is so because people are easily sharing their music freely, and people can download freely, and there are applications that actually give you access to free downloads of artists' works and music. So that alone is a minus on the part of the musicians.
I spoke to the Patents and Companies Registration Agency PACRA copyright administrator Kenneth Musamvu.
People need to be aware to say what are the dangers of piracy. You know, the dangers of piracy are that it deprives the owners of those works an income. You can imagine I spend so much time in the studio or on my PC to come up with this book, to produce this music, and then another person just comes and gets.
He adds that PACRA is revising the Copyright and Performances Act of 1994 in view of making it responsive to advancement in digital technology in respect to protecting intellectual property.
The Act of 1994 to fight the current challenges. So with the digital environment that is happening now, it requires modern legislation to fight this vice of piracy. So in that regard, PACRA has commenced, and I can assure you to say within this year we should be able to submit to Ministry of Justice or the new legislation, the bill that we're developing. We'll call the stakeholders so that they also make their input into this legislation.
Combating piracy remains a multi-stakeholder responsibility. Patrick Soko, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
The Zambia Medical Association has challenged the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMMSA, to clearly explain under what circumstances medicines that was under quality control quarantine was distributed to public hospitals. In an interview with Camnet News, Association President Dr. Crispin Moyo says inasmuch as ZAMMSA has rendered an apology to the public, the apology alone is not enough. Dr. Moyo says actions needs to be taken on those responsible as one way of restoring confidence in the agency.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMMSA has come under fire from various stakeholders following its confession on Sunday that the agency distributed paracetamol that was under quality control quarantine belonging to Honeybee Pharmacy to Kawe and Kasama General Hospitals. The controversial Honeybee Pharmacy made headlines in 2021 for its alleged defective gloves, condoms, and substandard medicine. In a statement dated 13th February 2022, ZAMMSA has rendered a public apology stating that the medicine was distributed by error and has since been recalled. This has, however, angered stakeholders in the health sector who have demanded for action on those responsible for this error. Zambia Medical Association President Dr. Crispin Moyo was speaking to Camnet News.
Would like people to be accountable, would like people to take responsibility. And in this vein, we're calling upon management to find the root cause of this, identify where the mistake actually happened, and take action against those that are involved in making this error. Impunity will not lead us anywhere. I think when such grave mistakes which are life-threatening happen, we need to take decisive action.
Dr. Moyo has further expressed worry that this action has only come after the activity was exposed by daily tabloids, stating that measures to detect faulty medicines should be enhanced.
So I think they need to give us a much detailed statement as ZAMMSA, in conjunction with ZAMMSA, how these drugs even end up in the shelf, so that they can even be distributed. Because it's not correct for a drug that is under quarantine to even be closer to a place where it can be dispensed. These drugs are supposed to be as far away as possible from where they can be consumed. Now they ended up even being distributed, even reaching the facility. That is dangerous. Yeah, they need to give us a detailed account of what happened.
Meanwhile, Jerome Kanyika, a pharmaceutical expert, has also added his voice.
So what was in the mind of the people learning ZAMMSA? Whom are they trying to implicate? Do they want, or they intentionally want to sabotage the works of the government, knowing very well that the president campaigned against the issue of ANP, and he promised to say he is going to make sure that supply chain and distribution of drugs are done with high quality, and the medication that will be supplied to the people of Zambia will be efficacious and safety medications. So what is ZAMMSA trying to say?
The operations of ZAMMSA have raised concern among stakeholders, as the agency was in 2021 also cited for drugs expiring in stock, while health facilities were lacking medicine. So those are the questions that have been posed to ZAMMSA. People are asking what exactly is going to happen to those who were involved in the illegal distribution of this medicine. They have called for accountability. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet TV in Lusaka.
Well, our news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Media News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. Former President Edgar Lungu's barber charged with murder. ZAMMSA accused against trivializing administration of substandard drugs. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.